Hello guys, this is Jones10395 with another Airsoft video. This will be optimizing your Airsoft gun. I'm not going to tell you to go spend $100, or a couple $100 on upgrading your gun and making it how you want it. I'm just going to talk about your stock gun, which is my only stock gun, and what you can do to improve it with what you already have in it or on it or anything like that. This is just going to be kind of upgrading your gun without paying any money. You're just going to, like I said, optimize it. Make it perform to the best of its abilities with what it already has in it. So I'm going to start off with something simple that only applies to AEGs. Actually, most of this stuff will. But motor height adjustment. You see this hole right here in the pistol grip? This will be on all version 2 and version 3 gearboxes. Here it is on the Magpul MOE, this big brass screw. It adjusts the height of the motor for the optimum engagement height or angle for, I believe it's called the spur gear, but the first gear that the motor contacts. And this allows it to have, it just goes as fast as it possibly can and efficiently as it can without skipping over teeth on the gears and screwing up the gears or the motor. It just makes it just perfectly aligned and it'll shoot as fast as it possibly can. So that's one thing, which is very simple. Like I said, you just adjust a screw right here until it sounds and feels great. And you'll know it once you feel it. Another thing is shimming your gearbox. Now, if you want to, you can buy shims, or you can use the shims that are already in the gearbox. Because odds are there's going to be a few shims in there already on the gears. And usually they can come too tight or too loose on some of the gears. So what I do, I've just started doing actually, is shimming all the gearboxes with the shims that are already in it. So I take it apart, and I find the shims, and I just take everything out, the piston, the tappet plate, the spring guide, and I only put the one gear in there, and then I put the shells of the gearbox together, and I put shims there until it doesn't move side to side, but it also can spin freely and efficiently, and it won't stop right away. So you do that to every single gear with the shims that are already in the gearbox, and so far I've never had a problem with coming up short on shims. I've actually had extras that have been in the gearbox. And it works perfectly, and it makes a huge difference. Until you do it, you won't know, but there is a noticeable difference. It'll increase your RPM, the efficiency, the battery life, and all that stuff. Another thing is your barrel. Cleaning your barrel is very important. If you're not going to get a tight bore or not going to do any upgrades to your barrel, you should clean it after every single game or every time you decide to shoot it in your backyard or wherever you go to shoot it. You want to clean it with the unjamming rod that it gives you, and it also has that little eye hole on the other end of it. You just put paper towel on there, spray a little bit of silicone oil, run it down the barrel until it comes out clean with no dirt on it, and then you run it down there with just paper towels or just cotton cloth to get any of the silicone oil out if there's too much. And you don't have to use silicone oil, it's just kind of what you should do. Another thing with the barrel is you want to make sure it doesn't vibrate when you're shooting, because this outer barrel, like my M16 right here, I believe it's in frame, but the outer barrel doesn't grab this really hard without any give. Like when you run or when you tap the rail or something like that, you used to be able to hear a little dinging, and that's the barrel hitting the wall of the outer barrel, the actual barrel that is. And that's because, like I said, it doesn't grip it. There's a little bit, obviously this is a bigger representation, but there's a little bit of gap between the barrel and the outer barrel. So what this tape does is it's kind of like shimming your gears. It's the same concept. It makes sure that it's always contacting and always pressing against the outer barrel, so it doesn't shake when you're on semi or full auto or running, and it doesn't kind of take that little bit of edge away from your accuracy. You can do one at the front. If you're going to do one, that's where you should put it, at the front, but I just decided to do two. and you want to use the thinnest tape you can find, so it can be very sensitive. Don't use electrical tape because that's really thick and you won't get a nice seal and it'll come off. So I used painting tape, masking tape, and it slides down the barrel freely, and when I hit it, you don't hear this hitting against the outside. And you may say, well, that's because the tape doesn't make a metal sound. But when you also put it on the barrel, like I said, it moves, it slides in there with relative ease, but you can also tell that it's not going to move. Like even when you just have this part of the barrel and you try to move this, it doesn't move at all. It just stays perfectly straight. So that's one big thing that can help your accuracy a lot. And the other thing is, of course, zeroing your sights. Obviously, back sight usually is going to be elevation and windage. Front sight's going to be fixed. You want to make sure those are as tight on there as they possibly can so they don't shake off and you screw up your zero. But before you do that, before you sight it in with your sights and all that, you want to adjust your hop up. And that's also one of the most important things when you're getting your gun. It'll usually be in the ejection port. G36 is right here. It's just a wheel that you turn, and it'll tell you in your manual and sometimes on the wheel which way is hop up and which way is no hop up. But what you want for hop up is the BB to just float perfectly straight through the air. You don't want it to go up, you don't want it to go down too fast, and you don't want it to slowly go down. When you have your hop up perfectly adjusted, it's going to go straight, and then it'll increase the range, and then after it's reached maximum range and it's lost all its power, it'll fall out of the air right away, and you'll know it when you have it perfectly adjusted. So you want to adjust your hop up. Don't look down the sights at all. What I like to do is I like to have the gun right next to my head and put my head kind of on the same plane that the barrel is, so I can tell if the BB is going up or down too fast, and I can make sure it's going perfectly straight. So you want to just shoot it a couple times and watch the BB. Like I keep saying, make sure it goes perfectly straight, and that'll increase the accuracy, range, and all that good stuff. It's basically everything you can do to your gun to make it work perfectly without having to spend any money on it. Like I said, motor height, shimming it, cleaning your barrel, putting this tape, shims on there, hop up, and then your sights. And sights are always after the hop up. Never do the hop up, never do the sights and then the hop up. Always do the hop up first. So, you can apply that to all your guns, whether it be a pistol or rifle or gas blowback, and even a Polar Star. You can apply some of these concepts to certain parts of every gun. So I hope this helped you out, saved you a couple bucks, and if you want more Airsoft videos, feel free to check out my channel and subscribe. So I will see you later.